we got oil. Now, oil has just fallen out of everything. It's had what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days red, which obviously is not a good thing. But let's put it into perspective. We are right around the May 21 low, which or basically like right when it started its big trajectory up to 76. Let's kind of look back a little bit over here. If you remember, this was what? Oh yeah, this was March, a long time ago. Wow, that's crazy. So we remember we broke out in March and then had or basically struggled for a few months, and then May 25th, May 21st is when we basically had the nice little bull run, and come 7-6 is where we hit our high, which right here was almost it's textbook. It was you kind of could assume that it was gonna drop from there. I didn't know that it was gonna continue all the way down to 61. I kind of figured like once this is 7. Wow, that's a long time ago too. That was a month ago. I kind of figured like right around here, we would might try to at least try to test the high again, but coronavirus is not going anywhere, and it is the Delta variant is getting worse, not better. So it kind of makes sense that we kind of roll over because half the world's closing back down, so to speak. I mean, I'm in Colombia right now and everything seems open, so it seems kind of surreal, but it makes sense that the oil would crater back or crash. And then you had the OPEC, what's going on with OPEC. Now, I'd like to kind of see what's going on with the Taliban pretty soon. If that causes any shift in the oil. Now, obviously, they just are now coming into power. So that'll probably be a couple months down the road that we'll address that, see if them coming into or what Afghanistan affects the oil markets at all. But let's get with it. MMP, now it's kind of obvious like all these stocks should kind of be on the way down. Excuse me, just because they're following oil. Yeah, so we're below the 50. We tried to make it above the 50 last week, which would have been lovely if we could hold the 48.21, but we didn't. Really, everything has to do with the oil market, and I can't really predict what's going on with that. If the oil market craters, then look for us to kind of crater back down to maybe the 44, down to the 41. Hopefully, it doesn't get that bad. However, oil was what at $20 for years, so this could crater. I mean, it's a partnership. They pay great dividends, so just keep that in mind. XOM just looks terrible, absolutely terrible. Let's go like this. Now my numbers could be off just a little bit, but we are looking at if this was a bullish chart or whatever. We're looking at the 127 extension below the 100% mark. So this could be a nice place for it to bounce and try to get above the 100%. But if not, then target would be 48.12. Kind of same thing going on with Sunoco. We had a beautiful up to 39. This was 8.4, so the beginning of this month. And since then, we have just cratered. Done, I mean, just basically like oil. I would like for us to get above this 36.82. However, it just looks like crap, honestly. So let's go make an extension right here. We are still within 100%. I mean, obviously, well, let me do a different one. I don't like that. Let's go to here to here. All right, so you see, look below and fail, and then Friday we're holding the 36.05. If we can continuously hold the 36.05, then this would be a buying point. But just remember, we're kind of like an H pattern right here, where we could go all the way down to 35, basically to 34. It really all has to do with the oil market. This was 7, so this was what, last month, the 19th. So as long, I mean, honestly, is if we can hold above this level right here, I mean, we're kind of like at the top of it. Excuse me. But if we don't drop below the 34.61, then I still say Sunoco's pretty much bullish. Just be careful. Be very careful. Royal Dutch Shell, another one. Just all these are basically looking like oil because they're oil stocks. But yeah, we've been in this range for quite some time, going all the way back from over to here. The basically this entire year we've been in this range right here. So this. Let's go. So yeah, you see, and it's just juggling right around the 50. We've had some times it's gone all the way down and then a little bit above, like right here. But for the most part, it's pretty much in a nice little squeeze. It's being squeezed right in the middle of right here. Doesn't look like it's going up, down, or around. Just basically staying where it is. E, it's European. Kind of same thing. But if we can stay above the 720 level, then I mean, it's not bullish, but it's just not as bad. Now, again, this was at 21, 22. So if we can stay above there, we're good. I wouldn't really want to put any positions on right now, just for the simple fact would like to see what happens with the overall oil market before really jumping into anything. Now, if oil can stabilize, then yes, bounce on all these stocks and let's make some money. But if oil keeps cratering, then be very careful. British Petroleum, again, they're all looking the same. This one's a little bit closer to its 7 or August low, but again, be careful. I'd stay clear from the oil until we kind of see what's going on. Again, with total, it's basically the same thing. We don't have very much data still. We only have 2 months, so really can't really. I mean, I can draw some lines, but it's. I mean, so we're holding this. If we can hold above the 42.32, great. But I don't see it really happening. CVX, Chevron, kind of the same thing. Chevron's actually doing worse than all the other ones, if you see. So Chevron, it's like most all of them are not at their July low, but Chevron is below it, and kind of convincingly below it. So just be very careful. Chevron, I mean, we could literally go to crap, right? Let's go like this. So it's really trying to battle right here, but we could all like 89 and 82 are targets. Kinder Morgan, again, well, this one's actually looking a lot worse because right here, this was the low, and it is just all the way said good night, goodbye, and dropped below the 50% mark. So that kind of changed the probabilities to where this like 1483 would probably be target. I would love for it to get above this 1603, but you got to kind of play the market how the market's playing right now, and it looks like target would be 1549 or 1438. Now Valero's looking pretty crappy too. Yeah, I don't have very much to say. 5484 is target.